Everybody, this week I want to share with you some of the biggest findings from perhaps the biggest ever inquiry into chiropractic. That was the 1978 New Zealand government inquiry into chiropractic, and there were 10 major findings that I want to share with you. Now, the first one was they found that modern chiropractic is far from being an unscientific cult. Now, that is, of course, a direct response to the criticism that was levelled at the profession in order to launch this inquiry, and certainly they were found comprehensively against that notion. They said, in fact, that chiropractic specialises in the correction of spinal manipulation, what chiropractors identify as biomechanical disorders of the spinal column, and that their spinal diagnosis and therapy is sophisticated and refined in practice. They in fact said that chiropractors are the only health practitioners necessarily equipped by their education and training to carry out spinal manipulative therapy. They wanted to say specifically that GPs and physiotherapists do not have adequate training in spinal manipulative therapy, at least at that time. They said spinal manual therapy in the hands of a registered chiropractor is safe. They said the education and training of a registered chiropractor are sufficient to be able to enable them to determine contraindications, including whether a patient should have medical care instead of chiropractic care. They said that spinal manipulative therapy is effective in relieving musculoskeletal symptoms such as back pain and other symptoms such as migraines. They said in the public interest, there must be no impediment to professional cooperation between chiropractors and the medical profession. Of course, that was famously brought as a problem in the Wilk versus AMA case, which is another one we may talk about later. But the restriction of that communication has been a significant issue over time. But they said it's in the public interest for that communication to occur. Okay. They said this responsibility for spinal manipulative therapy training should lay with the chiropractic profession. They said part-time or vocational courses in spinal therapy for other health professionals should not be encouraged. In other words, we don't want people going off doing a weekend course. If they're not a chiropractor, just doing a weekend course and being able to then go out into the field and practice because of the profession that they're in. And they said the Commission recommends government funding for chiropractic services. So this was, as I said, probably the biggest ever review into chiropractic. It was a government level review. It was in fact a Royal Commission review, and they found very much in favour of the chiropractic profession. There were some very favourable recommendations that were made. They wanted to see funding of chiropractic. They wanted to acknowledge the skills and the training of chiropractors and their ability to help the public, especially when it came to back pain and headaches, but potentially a whole lot more than that as well. So hopefully you found that interesting. Of course, you can look up the findings of that Royal Commission and have a closer look if you wish. Until next week, have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon.